Good afternoon and welcome to Norbrock Stadium, the host site of the 2018 Canadian Collegiate Baseball Championship Tournament. This is game number 2 here at Norbrock Stadium of day number 2. My name is Larry Reed. I'm the Sports Information Officer here at Thompson Rivers University, providing the play-by-play of this contest involving the VIU Mariners and the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs. This game was scheduled to start about 50 minutes ago, but the reason that it was delayed is because VIU was playing over at the Canada Games Field, which is adjacent to Norbrock Stadium here at MacArthur Island in Kamloops, British Columbia, and they pounded the Okanagan College Coyotes 16-9. VIU, it's their second victory of the season, of the tournament, I should say, the round-robin tournament. They earlier, yesterday, defeated the University of Calgary 10-8. So VIU at 2-0. So too is the University of Fraser Valley Cascades, who are in action this afternoon at the Canada Games Field as they are taking on the University of Calgary Dinos, the national, or the defending champions, I should say, of this tournament. Is the team that finished first in the regular season in the CCBC, the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs of Lethbridge, Alberta. And the Dogs are 0-2, believe it or not, after falling to the Okanagan College Coyotes 12-0 yesterday afternoon here at Norbrock. And then they followed that up with a 4-0 loss to the TRU WolfPack. Earlier today, the scores, it's TRU beating the University of Calgary 9-2, and again VIU defeating Okanagan College 16-9. It's my pleasure to be joined right now by, for the first 5 innings, by a member of the Vancouver Island University Mariners, Austin Gurr from Coaldale, Alberta. How are you? How's it going, Austin? How's the? Obviously, you guys are feeling pretty good as you're 2-0.
Exactly. You know, we came here with the mindset to win, and we got great weather. We couldn't ask for much more, and the boys are here to play hard and work hard, and it's been showing so far. So we're just looking to keep things rolling and play our part, and hopefully it all falls together in the end.
Cool. So now as we start off, you guys obviously are the visiting team, and Tanner Hess stepping in here playing second base today, and obviously you guys are on a bit of a high. What happened against OC? You pounded the ball, obviously.
Yeah, I guess we just figured out how to get some hits together, how to string it together. Just couldn't ask much more for the boys. Just before the game, it was just stick to our approach and just get the balls to hit the fastballs. Try to stay in good counts, and it worked for the better. And yeah, we came away with it. Nice.
In the first 2 games, have you seen any action thus far?
I started against Calgary in the first game.
Oh, yeah?
Our coach wanted to keep me under a pitch count because he wants me to bounce back here. And,
right.
I threw the first 4 shutout innings against Calgary. And yeah, then I came out after that, and then it was a bullpen day the rest of the way.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and hopefully you'll, obviously with your team at 2-0, good chance of you playing sometime on Sunday for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So here we are. We've got 2 strikes in on Tanner Hess. He'll be followed by Lucas Galloway, who is the designated hitter. The other score, in case you missed it, earlier today, TRU defeating the University of Calgary 9-2. So the Wolfpack now with a record of 2-1. Calgary 0-2, and again, they are playing on the adjacent field. We'll keep you up to date when we get some scores from the Canada Games Field as they're taking on, also undefeated at 2-0, the University of Fraser Valley Cascades. So, Austin, I got to ask you, what's the biggest story of day number 1? The fact that Fraser Valley is 2-0, winning by double-digit games, or the fact PBA is winless in 2 starts?
It's been a bit of a surprise, honestly. Like throughout the season, just playing against all these teams, you see a lot of good things and you see a lot of bad things too, right? But like coming into this, it's really any team's ball game at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like there's not one team here that I think, oh, they're going to be in the semifinals, you know what I mean? Other than us.
Right.
but
and that's the beauty of baseball, isn't it?
Exactly. Because you can go during the season, you could play a team and get swept on the weekend, right? But then, you know, it doesn't really matter once you get here.
Exactly.
You just got to play one game, get that win.
Hess grounded out for the first out of the inning and the ball game. Lucas Galloway now steps in, batting right. Galloway from Ontario, Alberta. Where is that?
No one knows.
I think he just invented it.
Yeah, it's more of a village than anything. He actually, when he was playing in high school, he would wake up early in the morning, drive to school, and then he would drive like another 3 hours after school up to Edmonton to play. I'm pretty sure it was for Spruce.
Right, Spruce Grove, right?
Yep, and so he'd be driving for most of the day, and then he'd drive back, get home late, wake up again early in the morning, and do it all over again.
Wow, what a great story!
Oh yeah, he's a trooper.
Very dedicated.
Yeah.
And he's on first base. This brings up Broden Brywig, who I correct me if I'm wrong. I think he was he was a second team All-Star. Obviously, one of your top players.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's been good for us. Solid defense, and he's been battling some injuries with his left hand, his bottom hand there. It's tough. He's been saying it's tough for him to get extended to hit that outside pitch.
Wow.
But he's been battling through for us, and couldn't ask for much more from him.
We should tell the folks that the pitcher for PBA starting off is Scott Gillespie. Was in their dugout actually earlier before the game here, Austin, and yeah, there are a lot of long faces in the, in the PBA
I bet.
dugout, hoping to rectify things. But of course, your team is hoping to move on to 3-0. That's I think that's kind of the magic number, isn't it? 3 victories in order to make it for Sunday. I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could get through with 2-1, but I think if there is a tie at that point, then they go to the run differential and whatnot.
I'm surprised there were so many mercy rule games.
I know. And that was one thing I was kind of thinking, like, just because yesterday, our game against Calgary, we were up by a bunch. I think we were up by like 7, and they ended up scoring 8 runs in the last 2 innings. So, like, I don't know. It is a good thing for that 10-run rule, just because it's going to save pitchers' arms, right?
Totally.
And for that reason, but then at the same time, like, you never know what's going to happen, right? Like, it could come back and scored 10 runs in the last inning. I've seen it. It's happened. You know what I mean? So, like,
exactly.
It's a love-hate relationship with the 10-run rule.
Totally. As is the whole round robin thing. Like
exactly.
Talking to some of our players, TRU players, about it. They were kind of you too.
Oh, nice.
That they were against it. They thought, why do we play the season if we're going to play a round robin?
Yeah,
but in the same thing, I think that if you could have a team that gets hot, and now that's the beauty of baseball.
Exactly.
Fraser Valley, who would have thought of it? PBA, at being winless, and you guys, after being swept by the Wolfpack last weekend here, look, you're off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah, exactly.
Batting is Liam Balance. He is the third baseman for VIBI. Runners at second and first, and he gets a good poke at that one. Hits the lovely tin roof here at Norbrock Stadium. Step it in. Count at 1-1. 1 away. Just underway here. We had a bit of a delay as VIU was on their way to a 16-9 victory over Okanagan College. Okanagan College now.
There's quite a few pitching changes in that game.
I bet there was. They've got OC with 1 win and 2 defeats. Playing in the last game of the night here of day number 2 as they'll take on the TRU WolfPack. Right down the middle. They try to pick off the man at second base, which is no go. And now we've got a little bit of a issue, which it rectified itself as Galloway on first base had a big lead off. I guess he thought that Hess was going to move it over to third base.
Yeah.
And your coach is still upright, so he hasn't had a heart attack. So
Yeah, exactly.
3 balls, 1 strike to Liam Balance. Again, if you're not familiar with the championship this year, it is a true round robin. Everybody plays everybody. The top team after the round robin will advance into the championship final Sunday at 1 o'clock. And the 2 and 3 seeds after the round robin, they will play in the semifinal, and that game will go at 10 a.m. on Sunday here at Norbrock Stadium, where they are anticipating a high of between 24 to 28 degrees on Sunday. And there's a double play to get out of the inning. So after a bit of a scare for PBA, they were able to retire the side. So after a half inning of play, it's obviously still scoreless. Back here at Norbrock Stadium for the bottom half of the first inning. My name is Larry Reed. I'm the Sports Information Officer here at Thompson Rivers University, joined by Austin Gurr, who is a pitcher with the Vancouver Island University Mariners. And leading off for the PBA Dogs is Eric Davies, the right fielder. And so, Austin, tell us a little bit about Tyler Ulrich. Obviously, I would assume that now that you've won a couple of games, or is he probably your number 3 or number 4 starter at this point?
Yeah, he's our number 3 guy for sure.
Nice. So, what kind of season did he have? Obviously, as we see, he's a right-hander.
Yeah, he's had some ups and downs, but he's battled through. He's just that kind of guy. His work ethic is through the roof, and he's always out there to lay it on the line for the boys. And I'm always little anxious for him when he goes out there, but at the same time, I just know that he's going to bulldog and go through and try to get the win for the fellas, and couldn't ask for much more.
Nice. I guess as a pitching staff, you want to get the most amount of innings out of each of one of your arms as you can at this point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hoping for we want our starters to at least get five good innings out of the start for sure, because we got a good bullpen. We got depth in our bullpen this year, especially compared to last year. Last year we didn't really have anything in our bullpen, but this year we've stepped up our bullpen game quite a bit, and we've actually got a lot of freshmen that have been showing out for us, and it's been good to see. Nice.
The count is 2 strikes and 1 ball to Eric Davies. Davies, a second-team CCBC All-Star. Outside. Austin looks for the sign. Or I should say Tyler looking for the sign. Austin's right here beside me. So, Austin, who's calling the game right now? Is a catcher doing it, or is a pitcher basically? There's just a nice hit down the right field line to open things up for PBA. Is Tyler, is he calling the game right now and the pitches, or is it the catcher?
It's our catcher. He's one throwing the signs down back there, but a lot of the times our coach will relay the signs to the catcher. But at the end of the day, it's ultimately up to the pitcher, right? If he doesn't feel comfortable with throwing something, he's going to give the shake,
right,
and go to something else. But for the most part, from my experience, and I know I can speak for a lot of the other guys out here, that we got quite a bit of trust in our catcher, and a lot of the times we're on the same page when it comes to certain spots and the pitches we have to throw. So
nice.
It's nice to be on par that way.
As a pitcher yourself, Austin, do you have a regular catcher, or like some pitchers just work with the same guy as a backstop? Do you do that, or do you just basically whoever is assigned to catch, that's the guy you're dealing with?
I mean, Lucas Galloway's basically our number one catcher, and our coach through the most of the season played him in every game.
Right.
And you know, it's tough on his body for sure, because we've been seeing it up to this point. Like he's struggling, he's battling, but he's the kind of guy that's just going to work through things like that. And he's great defensively. I mean, his stick's been showing a lot this year, so it's at this point it's tough to put anyone else back there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though it's tough at the same point to keep him back there, because he's getting beat up quite a bit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's how bad do you want it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And he's the kind of guy that he wants it. So.
Wells, the designated hitter, was out 5-3 as the third baseman for VIU took a look and then threw it over to first for the first out. This is David LeBlanc, the center fielder of the Dogs, and LeBlanc, too, a CCBC All-Star. Rips it to the shortstop.
Yeah,
that was slow. That was close, but good arm by your shortstop for sure. So 2 away. And this brings up Jarrett Semenuk. Semenuk, too, an all-star. In fact, the first team all-conference catcher this year. So, Austin, tell us a little bit about you. You've already had a performance thus far here in the championships. How was it, and how did it go?
I was just looking to go out there and give the boys a chance to win. Fill the zone, throw strikes, mix speeds, and just try to keep these hitters off balance and, let the defense work. I wasn't really going out there with the mindset to, go up there and mow everyone down, but, just try to get ahead in the count and then work the off speed to, get those ground balls and get those outs that we need. And, plan worked.
Nice. And that was against Calgary to open things up.
Yeah, Calgary.
So when the coach said, "Hey, Austin, you're starting game 1 in the championship tournament," were you a little nervous or more excited?
I was loving it. It's all excitement for me. It's I like being in that spot and getting called upon like that, because the team trusts me and I trust my team, and that's we got great chemistry out here with this team. We're a close-knit unit, and that plays a big role, especially with the mentality on the mound. When you know that you got guys behind you that are going to lay out on the line and make the plays they need to make.
Like that play right there. Great catch by the center fielder to retire the side. So for the PBA Dogs, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on, and it's scoreless after the first inning. Top half of the second inning here. Leading it off for the VIU Mariners, it's Devin Heck, who, again, I've said this countless times so far this game, also I believe was a CCBC All-Star. He was on the second team.
Yeah, he was.
And he flied out there for the first out.
Next up for the Mariners, the
right fielder Phil Whalen is now stepping in. Whalen from Calgary, Alberta, also pitches sometimes as well, batting out of the right side. And obviously, Austin, with the amount of CCBC All-Stars you have on your squad, of course PBA, that a lot of talented players in this game today.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's good to see.
You're mentioning between innings that you actually played a little bit for PBA. So do you get up a little bit more when you're playing against those guys?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, you always want to try to come back and step on a little bit when you're playing your old team, right?
Right.
There's
yes.
That little bit of rivalry there, and it just makes the win so much more sweeter when you do pull it off, right?
Exactly.
Number 34, Dylan.
Whalen flies out for two away. Dylan Kirby, the first baseman, stepping in here. Although I guess on the other side of the coin, because you're from Coaldale, just in the Lethbridge area, when you had to go to PBA, that was probably a big highlight, because I'm sure your friends and family got to see you play.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd always have friends and family out at the games, watching and supporting, and that's great. It's huge. It's always nice to see.
What's not nice to see is somebody getting hit by the ball, and that's what we saw right there. Is Dylan Kirby is hit by the pitch, so he gets the safe passage to first base, and this brings up the catcher, Dylan Pissio.
Yeah, he wore that one in the elbow there.
That's got to hurt.
Yeah.
Pissio from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Batting right.
I'm surprised that actually he might get hit here. He's our team magnet.
Oh, really?
He's the kind of guy, when he gets into the box, he's right up close to the plate, right?
Right.
And a lot of times,
some
pitchers like to run it inside just to try to get him to back off a bit, right? But he's the kind of guy, he'll stay in there, and he's looking for those hit by pitches too. He's the kind of guy who will flash the elbow a little bit and then try to turn the upper body to make it look like he's getting out of the way. But more times than not, he's fooling the umpires on it too. So.
And being a catcher, it's not like he's not used to getting hit, or he's used to getting hit the ball, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. If there's anyone on our team that's really gonna sell out and put their body on the line, I would say that it's Pizio for sure. So, when we were on our States trip, and there was a fly ball out to right field, and it was pretty far foul,
right?
And right along where the fence line would be, there's they had a little cement ledge, and he's going for it, running for it, pretty close to the fence, and I guess no one gave him the heads up that there's a fence there, right? So he slid right into the cement wall.
Oh, man!
It looked bad, like it looked really bad, but I don't know. Our coach goes out there, picks him up, and shakes the dust off, and he had a limp for the next couple of days, but then he was right back in there.
Wow!
Yeah, no, he's a grinder.
Yeah, that's somebody that's obviously he loves the baseball, loves the game, and will
loves it.
Sacrifice his body. As you saw, folks, PBA retired the side there, and it's scoreless again after an inning and a half as they come to bat. Beautiful day for baseball here at Norbrock Stadium in Kamloops. Over 20 degrees, and we're here in the early afternoon hours, of course. So going to be another beautiful day. Looking forward to a beautiful weekend. As we go to the bottom half of the second inning, scoreless between the PBA Dogs of Lethbridge, Alberta, and VIU Mariners out of Nanaimo. The scheduled batters will be Kevin Floyd, the first baseman, Nick Allen, the left fielder, and third baseman Ty Arnold. Kevin Floyd, not only an all-star, Floyd bats right, and he swings away there. Facing Tyler Ulrich, who has pitched pretty effectively thus far.
Good.
Austin, I would imagine at this point of the game as a pitcher, you're still kind of feeling out the other team until you probably go through the batting order at least once.
Yeah, typically, it's just for me personally, I like to go through the lineup once and try to get away with just throwing a fastball. Just try to locate that fastball. Get them to swing. Hopefully, make some some weak contact. Get the ground out, fly out, whatever. But until they can prove that they can start hitting that fastball, then that's when you start to mix in that off speed there. But I mean, if you can get away with just throwing your fastball for 1, 2, 3 innings, you're loving it.
Nice. And the fewer pitches, the better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, there's a strikeout. The first one of the ball game for Tyler Ulrich. This brings up left fielder Nick Allen. Nick Allen from Drayton Valley, Alberta. Witnessed something unusual here, Austin, in the previous game, TRU against Okanagan College. They started a left-hand or a right-hander, so the Wolfpack lineup was predominantly all left-handers except for one, and then they when Calgary came in with a left-handed pitcher, the Wolfpack completely changed their lineup and they were all right-handed.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's one thing we noticed with from Ray Chadwick there, the coach at TRU. He likes to play the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
He really likes to play the matchups, and we're gonna be coming at them with a left-handed pitcher too. So
there you go.
Yeah, work that matchup because when I forget who it was, started a lefty against TRU.
Allen back to the pitcher, so that's 2 away.
I don't know, but they started that left-hander, and it took out a lot of their big power bats.
Right,
like
yeah.
Fode, Schneider.
Right.
Who's another one? I think Rahela was left off
Yeah,
the lineup too.
right.
And like those are some guys that can hit, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
If we're playing the matchup to get those guys out of the lineup, why not?
Exactly. And you guys play TRU in the last round robin game tomorrow night.
Yeah, the night game.
The fact that you guys played here last weekend, how much of an advantage is that? Because I would think it would be because of the fact you saw them last weekend, so you kind of know who's who and what's what.
Exactly. Yeah, we're hungry. We want that redemption, and we're gonna be coming at them hot. So
it'll be an interesting game for sure.
Game to watch,
no kidding. 3 up, 3 down for the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs. It's scoreless after 2 innings. Top half of the third inning, we are scoreless here between the VIBI Mariners and the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs. This is number 7. Is Connor Bronson, the center fielder. The number 9 hitter for the Mariners. And what's the story on Bronson?
Another one of our freshmen. He's from Edmonton, I believe. And he's a great defensive player. You know, his defense out in the field is one of a kind there, and his stick's coming along. He did well. He hit well in the fall, and then struggled a bit at the beginning of the season. But you know, he's been working on his swing, and we've seen some good things from him. And you know, he's one of those guys that's really nowhere to go but up. So yeah, I'm expecting big things from him.
Count of 1-1 for Bronson. He'll be followed by Tanner Hess and Lucas Galloway. Is that a wild pitch or a passed ball?
I'd go with wild pitch on that one.
It's always difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
And to the benefit of the players here, I think that the scorekeepers, and maybe it's when the games are in Nanaimo at the same time. It's our current players, like the WolfPack guys, are actually doing it, so they're going to be as lenient as possible, so not to give errors.
Exactly, we've run into some problems that way over the years with the point streak stats, and like some of our guys were given runs that they weren't even on the mound for.
Oh, right,
and
wow.
Things like that, because. I mean, like, it's tough you get the players to go out there and do that, right? But they're not really, like, doing it all the time, right? So they just kind of just figure it out as you go. So, like, of course, there's going to be mistakes here and there. But,
of course.
You know, overall, it's been pretty good.
Tanner Hess now, who grounded out in the first inning. The leadoff batter with in the lineup, the number 1 hitter with Bronson at first. Being from Kamloops here for a number of years, I call that the Darcy Tucker rule. Darcy Tucker, who played for the Blazers and then in the NHL, he would be awarded assists, and he wasn't even on the ice. So the Western Hockey League had to beef up their scoring, the statisticians.
Yeah, catcher's got a good arm.
And you're right, Semenuk, the catcher, was able to gun down Bronson for the first out of the inning. A little more difficult to pull that when games are all on video now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Solid hit by Hess, right to the shortstop. Just in time for 2 away. To the plate now will be the designated hitter, Lucas Galloway. Galloway from, again, as we made reference to last time he was up, Ontario, Alberta.
The village.
The village. So I think that constitutes a grain elevator in a general store.
Exactly.
Ball 1, 2 away. Of course, coming up at 4 o'clock, the next game we'll be webcasting is PBA stays right here, actually, and they will take on Fraser Valley. High pop-up. And caught by the first baseman to retire the side, so it remains scoreless after 3 innings of play. VIBI out of Nanaimo, the Mariners, and out of Lethbridge, the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs. Leading off the third inning for the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs, it's the second baseman, number 15, Josh Fisher. Fisher from Spruce Grove, Alberta, just outside of Edmonton. Takes a strike right away. And quickly it's 0-2 as he fouls it away. So Austin, I'm sure you faced all the other teams in the CCBC. Is there a team that you don't like playing against?
At this point, honestly, it'd be the hometown team here, TRU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're. I don't know. It's always a grind. It's always a battle when we play them. But I don't know. I just can't put the word on it. But it's always chippy. It's always a grind of a ball game. I just feel like a lot of the time in those games, in those sets that we've played them, it always seemed like the umpire was never on our side with a lot of the calls, right? But
right.
Not much you can do there.
No.
I just feel like every time we play Kamloops, there's always something, that's just not going to go our way.
This is Ethan McGregor, who pops it up to the shortstop. Nice catch. And I don't know what it was like over there at the Canada Games field when you guys were playing, Austin, but here this morning, there was the wind really played havoc with a lot of the fielding. There would be cases where in one instance the first baseman it was a pop up. He made the catch. We thought, and he caught it, and then the ball came out of his glove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or for the pitcher, for instance, they would be throwing curveballs, and it was going to curve to the left or the right, I should say, and the wind made it curve to the left. It was just weird. Was it over? Was it like that over there at the Canada Games field?
I mean, the wind wasn't too bad actually. At the beginning of the game, it was breezy. He was coming through pretty good, but I don't know. Feel like it died down pretty good. The only really complaint I have over there on that field is the mound. Like, I mean, this mound over here at Norbrook, you got a decent slope,
right?
And like a lot of the times, when you're pitching downhill,
right?
So you stride out and you step down. You want to go down the mound. But you do that over at the Summer Games field over there, and you go to stride out and step down, thinking that you're going to step down, but you're not stepping down. The ground's level with you, right? So it feels like you're throwing a flat ground off the mound.
Yikes!
So that was a bit of an adjustment, and it was funny too, seeing a lot of our guys and other players get onto the mound and throw that first pitch way wild, right?
Right.
They're not used to that. They're thinking there's going to be a downward slope, but there isn't a downward slope. But yeah, it's an adjustment for sure. Mound,
yeah, definitely, I would imagine.
But the field play is nice. It's a nice field to play on.
3 innings now complete, scoreless between the Dogs and the Mariners. We'll be back with the top of the fourth in a few minutes here. Top half of the fourth inning for VIBI scheduled. It'll be Broden Bryweg, I should say, along with Liam Balance and and Devin Heck. This is Broden Brideweg from Langley, BC. Walked his first time up at the first inning. In case you're joining us late, we're scoreless here, top of the fourth. Only one hit thus far, and that came from PBA. The Dogs, the 9-time defending champion. Feedback. Gotta hate that. Oh and 2. Everyone's stunned by the feedback.
Yeah.
And of course, VIU unbeaten in 2. Hoping to be unbeaten in 3.
Exactly.
So a trip to PBA from Nanaimo is what, 18 hours?
Jeez, yeah, I guess it depends how fast you're driving.
I
Really.
get
Yeah.
good answer
Yeah.
as we see Broden walk there.
Typically-
Because I'm thinking, what is it, like probably even from Kamloops, I'm thinking to Lethbridge is like that's pretty like 6 or that's what 8 hours.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 hours for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. By the time, well, for me when I first came out here, it took me 12 hours to get from my house in Coaldale to
Right.
Departure Bay.
Right.
Or Horseshoe Bay, sorry.
Right.
And then, yeah, another 2-hour ferry ride.
Right.
So
Wow.
a lot of, 14, 15
15 hours.
round trip.
Yikes. So you guys literally, if you have to go there, lose a day of school because you're on the bus for at least a day, right?
Yeah. A lot of the times when we do play PBA and we make that trip, it's they schedule it once school's done.
Oh, really? Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah, so that we do have a day to get up there early and not really have to worry about
Great.
doing your homework on the road
Right.
or whatever. Yeah,
That's a good question. Like Austin, how are you balancing the student athlete thing? Because obviously you guys practice every day, you do some traveling, and I would imagine you're probably taking at least 3 courses.
Yeah, I think this semester I had three courses this semester and 4 last semester. It's a grind for sure, and especially because I'm working too.
Right.
Yeah, I work at the airport there in Nanaimo. Just because you need money. Right?
Yeah, of course.
And
You're a starving student.
yeah, exactly. You're living on that itchy band diet. No, but yeah, no, it's a grind. You just got to learn how to manage your time wisely, and that's a big thing that they teach.
Solid hit there by Balance. You really got a hold of that one.
Yeah, good. Yeah, our coaches, like from day one, they try to engrave that into our heads that you got to be good, be smart with managing your time, because it's easy to you forget about some things, right?
Right.
A lot of times, guys in their first year, it's a whole new experience coming to college and everything, right?
Right.
Your parents aren't here, whatever else, right?
Yep.
So you're doing things on your own, for the first time, and a lot of like some guys are good with that, and then some other guys just
Not so good.
Yeah,
Yep.
not so good, and you just like kind of struggle a bit. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just like, how bad do you want it? You know what I mean? Because no one else is going to do it for you. It's all you. So you just gotta sacrifice some things sometimes, right? There's like an event that's going on at night. But you got homework you got to do, or you got practice early morning. There's some things you just got to sacrifice and give up in the name of the game, and in the name of getting a good education. So yeah, it's the student athlete life is a grind for sure.
Mariners with guys at second and first. This is Devin Heck, the left fielder. One ball, a bunt. Over to actually, the ball popped out,
Go back. Oh,
and now we got a little bit of a rundown going.
No one's there.
But
Good.
wow, balance, scary there. You're right.
That's the second time we almost ran ourselves off the base there.
Yeah, so nice bunt and great speed by Heck to get over there.
Yeah, he's got some wheels.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Phil Whalen.
Phil Whalen steps in, the right fielder. Just curious, Austin. I know at TRU we have a thing called the PACE program, which is basically like a study hall, or if it's designed for athletes. And if say you're having problems in economics, for instance, the next week you show up, there'll be an economics professor or a tutor there to help you out to make sure that that you understand what you're having problems with and help you out. Does
cool.
VIU have anything like that?
I feel like we would if we were, a direct affiliate with the school, because like right now we're more of a club team.
Right.
And as of last year, we were actually like recognized as a VIU athlete, because before it was kind of how PBA runs it, right? They're the Prairie Baseball Academy, and they're not affiliated with the University of Lethbridge or the Lethbridge College, but the University of Lethbridge does offer up, scholarship award money and tries to help out as much as they can and to donate to the program. So it's kind of how it is here at VI, but the school does have programs open just to any students that need help, with like writing, and if they just need to go, to talk to someone about whatever, you know what I mean. There's big open door policy there, and they're just they really take care of their students there.
Nice,
which is nice. Yeah.
What we just witnessed was a sacrifice fly by Phil Whalen driving in Broden Breibwig. So that gives the Mariners their first run of the game and the first run of the contest, in fact. And now we have runners at first and third. Heck is at first. Balance is over there at third with one away. And the batter is Dylan Kirby, the first baseman. Kirby, nice hit. It's right to straightaway center for the catch, and Balance makes his way home on the wild throw.
He's been really clutch for us this year, Kirby.
Oh, really nice.
And he's a hometown kid in Nanaimo. He's been playing out on the island his whole life. He played in the PBL for the Parksville Royals. He's just a solid athlete. And it's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him play. There's always that anticipation that he's always going to do something. You know what I mean? He's a tough out, and he works hard, and it shows out there on the field. He's a good little ball player.
Solid hit, and getting the RBI on that sacrifice. This is Dylan Piscio, the catcher. Takes a strike. So VIU up 2-0 here in the top half of the fourth inning. Again, all the games here at the CCBC Championships, 9-inning affairs, barring the 10-run mercy rule, which we saw a lot of in day number one. In fact, I think we saw it 3 times on day number one, which is kind of unusual, Austin, that you have so many big blowouts.
Yeah, no kidding. There we go. We got hit.
Oh, you're right.
It was bound to happen sometime.
Oh, totally.
He is a magnet.
The poster boy for Medicare, for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or Band-Aids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we've got runners at first and second. Heck moves to second after Piscio was hit by the pitch. And this is Connor Bronson, the center fielder, who walked and then was out stealing second. Back in the third inning here. Swings away on the first pitch. Austin, the Wolfpack do a lot of community events, including like clinics for minor baseball people here in Kamloops, minor ball players, I should say, in Kamloops. What about VIBI? Are you guys out in the community doing, like, I don't know, McHappy Day and working in the schools or in clinics for younger baseball players, that sort of thing?
Yeah, our coach Nick Salahub, and then throughout the years, he's been organizing camps, winter camps for like all ages. And we really try to make a presence in the community, especially within youth baseball, right? Just promote the game and just really try to get these kids excited and want to continue playing the game of baseball. So we're just out there trying to make it fun for these kids and try to teach them something that they don't know, and hopefully they can grow to be some great little ball players. And it's fun. I like doing things like that.
Nice.
It's like you might not get much feedback per se about from like doing these camps, but just like putting smiles on kids' faces and having them absolutely love it every time they come to camp.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
And they may come out to the games as well,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is
Oh,
a
yeah,
cool
for
connection.
Sure. Yeah.
Bronson strikes out to retire the side, but not before the Mariners get 2 runs and on 2 hits, and they lead 2-0 after 3.5 innings. Back here at Norbrock Stadium, bottom half of the 4th inning, Dalton Wells, the designated hitter for PBA, stepping in. He grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning in his first at-bat. 2-0 is our score. VIU with 2 runs in the top half of this inning and have taken the lead. Joined by Austin Gurr, one of the pitchers for the Mariners, who are unbeaten so far and hope to continue that way and looking good thus far. And there's a hit by Wells that just snuck under the glove of the third baseman. Again, he stretched out, and kind of sad for him because it just pops underneath his glove.
Especially because he got those long limbs too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. David LeBlanc now. He too grounded out in the first inning. Facing Tyler Ulrich. Tyler with 1 strikeout and 2 hits given up thus far.
Good, Rich.
Popped up to the catcher.
Attaboy, Peter.
And makes a nice catch for the first out of the inning. And from one catcher to another, Jarrett Semenek from PBA stepping in. Flew to straightaway center to end the first inning. Right to the second baseman.
Good.
For 2 away, advancing the runner.
Haven't been watching watching too many games here, but how have the hops been?
Like what you basically saw here, yeah.
Pretty good.
Aside from the fact earlier today, with the wind, like we were mentioning about earlier, kind of played havoc a little bit, but otherwise, it's but tight infield, I think, because it's bounces right off.
Yeah, because I remember our first weekend set here in Kamloops. It was after the cold finally started to dissipate, and we started to get that warm weather. And the ground was fairly hard, it seemed like, because the bounces, it seemed like the ball would bounce another 20 feet in the air after it hit the ground.
Wow. The inning has ended as Kevin Floyd, the first baseman, hits it right to the second baseman. So another great play by the second baseman for VIBI. And after 4 complete, 2-0 is our score. Here we are in the bottom half, or the top half of the 6th inning, and leading off with a stand-up double is Tanner Hess. What a great hit, huh, Austin?
That was nice. Way to stay on it and push it the other way.
He ripped it, and this brings up Lucas Galloway, the designated hitter, and you were saying during the break he had a long ball today.
He did. Yeah, it was funny. He came back in the dugout, and he's like, that wasn't even the hardest hit ball I've hit all year. I think the wind might have played a little part in that one.
Oh, that's funny. Right to the first baseman, unassisted for the first out. Brings up shortstop, Broden Bridewig. As Hess has advanced to third base. 2-0 the score.
Number 2, Broden Bridewig.
Both those runs for VIU coming in the top half of the 4th inning. Here we are in inning number 5. Been pleased to be joined by Austin Gurr, one of the pitchers for Vancouver Island University.
Good to be here.
And actually, next inning, we will have the president of the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference joining us, as our color commentator. Okay. And he's got big shoes to fill because, Austin, you've done a great job for sure. Lots of great insight, and it's been a pleasure to have you here.
Perfect. Yeah, I know. I can't say I've ever done a in-game interview like this before.
Very insightful, not only as a student athlete, but your insight on your teammates, which I think the viewers at home. And by the way, you can catch this because it's archived on our WolfPack YouTube.
Perfect.
So there you go.
I can go back and listen to all the dumb things I said.
Yeah. All the games actually at Norbrock Stadium in the tournament are archived on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
4-3. The second out brings up Liam Balance.
Number 43, Liam Balance.
Coming up at 4 o'clock, we're going to be webcasting, or shortly after, probably 4:30 or so, because we were running a little bit behind. PBA will stick around here and take on Fraser Valley, and then the final game of the night, 7 o'clock, likely 7:30 or so, Okanagan College against the TRU WolfPack. WolfPack winning earlier today, 9-2 over Calgary. And the Mariners lambasted, hammered, spanked. You can use all those words to describe their 16-9 win over Okanagan College. Yeah, I read a thesaurus this morning. Counts 1-1 with 2 away. On balance. Sadly, Austin, or happily, I've been a broadcaster I started when I was 16, so I've been in it for almost 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so I know I know all the cliches. Foul ball, 2-1. Look close, but it's a ball. So at this point, I guess, Austin, as a pitcher, you're 4 or 5 innings into it. You probably got a rhythm going.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd say the toughest inning as a starter is that first inning. Trying to find your spot and get into your rhythm. But I just feel like once if you get out of that first inning clean and calm, and then do the same thing in the second inning, I feel like, and for me anyway, I just get into that groove and get into that rhythm, and then everything just it all starts to feel the same, and you just keep going, keep doing your job, and it almost makes the job seem a little easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of being a little easier, if we were playing, for instance, in Nanaimo, your home field, would you have that much of an advantage then? Because you practice on there all the time?
Yeah, I feel like for sure. Because when we opened our season with the first 2 weekends at home against Calgary and OC, and we went 7-1. Good. That boy Balance would have poked that one through.
There's an RBI single by Balance. Nice hit up the middle. Just squeaked in there. And the Mariners have now taken a 3-0 lead.
Now batting for VIU, the left fielder, number 8, Devin Heck.
But yeah, I'd say for sure that playing at home does have an advantage.
Devin Heck now flied out to center field in the second inning, and then singled and was left aboard in the fourth. The line score, VIU 3 runs, 4 hits. PBA no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. 1-1 is the count. Right down the middle for a strike. Clouding over, but still a beautiful day here at Norbrock Stadium for day 2 of the CCBC Championship. And swinging to strike out and end the inning is Devin Hex, but not before. The Mariners get 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave a man, and they now lead 3-0. Bottom half of the fifth inning here, VIU out top of PBA, 3-0. Nick Allen stepping in for Prairie Baseball Academy to lead things off. He grounded out. Our last half inning with Austin Gurr from Coaldale, Alberta, from VIU, who's graced us with his presence and done a fine job as our color commentator. Wasn't too scary, was it, Austin?
Oh, no, it's been great. It's been nice and easy. It may be a little nerve-wracking at the start, but, once you get the conversation going,
you're doing fine.
It's all good.
Right down to the third baseman. Nice throw there to get Nick Allen for the first out of the inning.
Our third baseman actually will be playing in the West Coast League.
Oh, really? Oh,
summer,
nice.
Yeah, in Cowlitz.
Number 9, the third baseman, Ty Arnold.
Ty Arnold, the third baseman, stepping in, and he grounded out in the second inning. So not to jinx you, there's a hit right to the shortstop, making it pretty easy here for us for 2 away. Not to jinx you, Austin, but should the game continue the way it does, it is right now, and you guys go on to victory, how big would this win be?
Huge. Huge. We've, we weren't really thinking about, the next game ahead of the one that we were at, yesterday and earlier today. We're just taking it one game at a time. And, like right now our mentality coming into this game was, it's 0-0. And, we're just going to keep hacking away, keep doing our thing, try to play fundamental baseball, and, just try to come away with the win at the end of the day.
Stepping in here is Josh Fisher, the second baseman, flied to center field in the third inning. Count is 1-1. Treat coming up for the rest of the ball game after Austin returns to the VIU dugout. We'll be joined by the president of the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference, and looking forward to having him join us to talk baseball and make some comments as we roll along here. Day number 2 of the CCBC Championship, the tournament here at Norbrock Stadium here in Kamloops. Count now 3-1 to Josh Fisher. Fisher from Spruce Grove, Alberta. Second base today, but also pitches. Gets a hold of it. Nice snag by the third baseman. Right over to complete the inning. So 3 up, 3 down. Our thanks to Austin Gurr from Coaldale, Alberta, and the Vancouver Island University as well for joining us as our color commentator for the first half. 3-0 after 5. Back here at Norbrock Stadium for the top half of the 6th inning, the score, the VIBI Mariners leading the PBA Dogs by a score of 3-0. It's my pleasure to be joined by the president of the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference, Kevin Kavomi. And Kevin, thanks for being here. Your thoughts on the game thus far?
Well, it's just another game that PBA kind of went into a slump here at the start of the tournament, and the run production has been nil so far. They're not. That wasn't their trait during the regular season, where they led the conference in batting average. But so far in this tournament, they've got goose eggs going. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the game here.
I guess that's the advantage of a round robin, that there's still plenty of time to turn things around here.
Well, I think they're running out of innings here. They need to get something going soon, because even round robins run out of time eventually here. There's other teams putting wins on the board every other game. So
for sure, this is Phil Whalen leading things off for the Mariners, and his third time at the plate. Both times he flew out to right field. He'll be followed by Dylan Kirby, the first baseman, and then catcher Dylan Piscio. And Whalen strikes out. So. Continuing on, pitching for PBA is Scott Gillespie, and Scott has given up 3 runs and 4 hits, but he also has 3 strikeouts so far in the contest. This brings up Dylan Kirby. Kirby, the first baseman, grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning, and then a sacrifice in the fourth, and he flies out to the left fielder right there for the second inning. So obviously, Kevin, as president, your general comment maybe on how you thought the season has gone.
Well, the season was really really competitive. I think this year there was all the teams were in it right at the beginning of the year, and toward the end OC and PBA kind of broke away from the pack, but anybody seemed to be able to beat anybody on any given day, and there were some games that were like 26-20, and other games that were 2-1. So you never knew what you were going to get on the field any given day, which makes the conference pretty competitive.
Definitely, and I guess that's encouraging moving forward.
Oh yeah, I mean there's 6 teams in the league right now, and that's an increase of 1 from a couple of years ago. UFV came in last year, which is good for baseball. And, the more competitive these games are, I think the more quality players you'll get into the league as well, as they develop their baseball skills here in Canada, and some of them move on to the U.S. from there.
3 up, 3 down for the Mariners. So we go to the top half of the 6th inning here, and with the score 3-0 in favor, or the bottom half of the inning, I should say. It's PBA down 3-0, and they're coming to bat here in the bottom half of the 6th. Bottom half of the 6th inning as PBA comes to bat here, trailing 3-0. Ethan McGregor, the shortstop, who flied out to the, or popped up, I should say, to the shortstop back in the 3rd inning. An update from the Canada Games field, top of the 5th inning, It is 3-2 for the Calgary Dinos over the University of Fraser Valley Cascades. Of course, UFV unbeaten in 2 starts after winning twice yesterday. This is his first game today. And, of course, Calgary looking for their first victory after losing to VIU 10-8 yesterday. And then, of course, falling earlier today 9-2 to Calgary. There's McGregor with a stand-up double. Great way for PBA to get things going here, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's a great start for McGregor there. They need to get something going now. They need to find a way to score this run. They're long overdue, so maybe this inning they can get this done.
Top of the lineup here, the batting order for number 2, Eric Davies, the right fielder, singled in the first inning and grounded out in inning number 3. Again, one of a number of CCBC All-Stars, Eric Davies, second-team All-Star. Kevin, you must be as not only CCBC president, but also as the count goes to 1 ball. That you're also with PBA, and you've obviously an esteemed program. A number of players moving on to university baseball in the States. Must be very proud of that. You got to run a great organization over there.
Yeah, we have a very good coaching staff that's been with us for many years, and they year in and year out produce talent, and we tend to be similar to a JUCO where the players basically play 2 years of varsity and then try to move on to U.S. schools and that, which is a little different from the 4-year programs here in some of the schools in British Columbia. But it does work for Prairie Baseball Academy and has been very successful.
Davies,
very important at bat coming up.
Yeah,
right
with
now.
Davies being hit by the pitch. Runners at first and second for Dalton Wells, a proven player, and the VIU manager goes out to talk to his pitcher. Get back to PBA for a minute. Your recruiting is unbelievable. Similar to a little bit with Ray Chadwick. And over the 10 years I've been here, he's had players from each province in Canada, and and PBA is the same. Yeah,
I mean, we have a lot of ability to recruit from across the country, and then you build up that reputation, and you have an alumni out there that you have across the country too, and that all helps. That recruitment vehicle that continues to drive year in and year out. So, right. It's definitely an advantage to building that success of a program and getting that brand, and I think it attracts players as well.
Mm-hmm. Winning breeds winning, and you are, I think, the 9-time defending champions of this league. So, winning definitely not a problem for sure. Wells stepping in here. PBA kind of tinkering with the lineup. Wells, I think, yesterday afternoon, at least for one of the games, he was a leadoff player. Now he's gone to the number 2 spot.
Yeah, I think they're trying to just find something that generate a little bit of offense, just get them rolling. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just need that spark. So, it's one hit away, or at worst case scenario, he needs to advance these runners here.
Goes to 0-2 as he swings away here. Coming up after this, probably around 4:30 or so, as running a little bit behind time, we will have PBA again as they will take on the UFV Cascades. So, Kevin, if I ask you what was the most surprising thing from day number 1, would it have been either PBA, your team, going winless in 2 starts, or Fraser Valley not only winning twice, but in double digits both times? Out at second, Wells on board on the fielder's choice. So one away.
He managed to get the runner to third. Of course,
that's always good for sure. And you almost think with PBA's talent that, if they get a couple of runs and get kind of getting their mojo, for lack of a better word, back, they might be able to go on a little bit of a roll here.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams played in Lethbridge a couple of weeks ago, and they had some late night games, and there was lots of double-digit scores that happened in them.
Wow!
One was 20-14 and 22-12. So they definitely, both teams can score some runs. PBA swept that weekend 4-0 against them.
Strike one to David LeBlanc, the center fielder. And those games when it's like 20-11, defense definitely just went out the window. Or is it pitching that went out the window? Or you just shake your head and go, that's baseball.
Yeah.
Out at second, a double play to end the inning. So PBA threatened, but were unable to get a run across. Ends the inning, and the score after 6 innings of play, it's the Mariners 3 and the Dogs no score. Back here in Kamloops at Norbrock Stadium for the 7th inning, PBA and VIU. The Mariners leading 1-0, and this is Connor Bronston for the Mariners, the center fielder. Grounded out the first inning, or first time up in the 3rd inning, and then struck out in inning number 4. Kevin Kavami, who is the president of the CCBC and a member of the Prairie Baseball Academy Executive, joins us right now. And we were just talking during the break, Kevin, about some of the community efforts the WolfPack do. How about PBA? Are you involved in like minor clinics and all that sort of stuff as well?
Yeah, PBA does a lot of stuff for minor baseball and in the community. I know they've done blood drives, and they get involved in raising, doing some work out in the some of the farm communities, helping them out with the fundraisers for themselves and different stuff throughout the year that gets them involved in the community, which is good for recognition throughout the city.
And great for the student athletes as well, as they can put on their resume as they move on to another university, or when they finish their graduation, that they've got community service as well.
Yeah, it certainly helps the players and makes them feel part of the community, and also what they I think it makes them feel good about contributing to the community as well.
Moving back to your CCBC president hat, is that something that the league as a whole really needs to do to maybe promote the image and image, I guess, of CCBC in their respective communities?
Yeah, I think I would hope that all the teams do that. I mean, I don't think they need to be told to do it, but I think it's definitely something that should be a core component of every program in the league.
Top of the order now for VIBI, Tanner Hess, the second baseman. Grounded out in the first inning, and in the third inning, last at bat, he hit a double and scored a run. VIBI with 2 runs in the fourth, 1 run in the fifth. Here we are in the seventh with a 3-0 advantage they have over the Prairie Baseball Academy Dogs. Actually, I've been with TRU for 10 years, Kevin, and one of my fondest memories is the CCBC championships here. You guys won it. You had a banner in the right field. I can still see it as I look out there, paying tribute to some of your athletes that were tragically killed in an accident, I think just outside of Lethbridge, and a very emotional moment for your organization, and I think everybody felt that. We would have liked TRUs if we were a home team to win, but I think PBA was kind of adopted by the fans here, and it was just an emotional moment. I don't know if were you here at that time?
No, I actually we were getting ready for a memorial event, and I'm heavily involved in the Western Major Baseball League as well, and getting ready for that. So we were watching the
webcast
and stuff from back here. So yeah, it was that whole when it happened there in December of 2011, right through, even today, it still brings memories back.
Mm-hmm. 2 out for Lucas Galloway, the designated hitter. Hit a home run earlier today over at the Canada Games field, Lucas did, against Okanagan College. Count is 2 balls and no strikes. Scott Gillespie, the starting pitcher for PBA, continues to throw here in the 7th inning. Of course, in the CCBC League Championship Tournament, all games are 9 innings, barring the mercy rule. Strike 1, 3-1 to Galloway. Full count as Galloway swings away. Nice pitch there by Gillespie. Big pitch here. And Galloway walks. Brings up shortstop Broden Brideweg. Brideweg, a second-team CCBC All-Conference All-Star.
A few of those playing in this game. They were announced on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, and it's quality that I guess a good example of the quality of the players in the league, that almost on all the teams are obviously represented, and they're all solid players.
Yeah.
Which I guess speaks to the state of baseball, does it not, in Canada, as it continues to improve and the talent level continues to improve?
Yeah, I mean, you see it at all levels of baseball, including the major league level, and this is just a stepping stone to that for some of these players, and whether they eventually make it to the show or whether they just get their education and move on to a successful career. Baseball played a part of that, of their maturing through their post-secondary careers, and I think it plays an important part in their post-secondary careers.
As you mentioned, you're part of, or maybe you still are, you were at that time the Western WBML, and obviously Lethbridge, I think, has a team, the Bulls. Do a lot of the PBA players wind up staying in Lethbridge in the summer and playing for the Bulls?
There's a few every year. I think we have 4 or 5 playing in the Bulls this summer, and we also probably have some that have gone on to schools in the United States that come back and play
for the
Bulls in the summer. So it definitely is. It looks going to be enough to get 2, but 1.
Brideweg, and that does it for VIBI in the top half of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, and one man left on, so it's 3-0. The score continues for VIU over PBA. Bottom half of the 7th inning here. Game number 2 of day number 2 here at Norbrock Stadium of the CCBC 2008 Championship. Stepping in is Jared Semenuk for PBA, the catcher. Takes the strike inside. Semenuk, the first team catcher. And a solid arm, right? Kev, earlier today we've seen him a couple of times throw people out at second base.
Yeah, that's he's got a good arm, good bat on him. He's had a good season, deserving of that first team recognition earlier this week.
Gets a nice connection on that ball right to the shortstop and out at first for one away. Brings up yet another CCBC All-Star first baseman, Kevin Floyd. Kevin struck out in the second and grounded out in the 4th inning.
Number 29, Kevin Floyd.
I'm not looking for excuses at all, but I've kind of felt for the PBA boys because they had to wait for VIU to finish their game over at the Canada Games field, and that's got to be a tough situation, whether you're an experienced player or whether you're a young player, just to sit around and wait for the game to finally start.
Well, I think after yesterday, the throwing up the goose eggs yesterday, you're getting that mentality ready to go today and try to get it going, and that probably just helps the nerves to drag on a little bit more, and it probably didn't do much good to start this game, but they still have the ability. It's just it's always about those slumps, and you slump at the wrong time, and these type of things happen.
Exactly.
In baseball.
Nick Allen steps in with 2 away. Allen grounded out both times his previous plate appearances. There's another game going on. At the Canada Games field between Calgary and Fraser Valley, and in the bottom half of the 6th inning, it's 7-4 for the Dinos over the Cascades. So again, kind of unpredictable game.
Yeah, we just started talking about how the UFV was getting on a bit of a roll this tournament.
Yep.
And bang. Somebody jinxed them.
Yep. Counts 2 balls, 1 strike to Nick Allen. 2-2 with 2 away. Clouds settling in over the Kamloops North Shore here on a Friday afternoon. Beautiful day, though. Still great temperatures. Expecting it to get warmer as the tournament in the weekend kicks off, and it's a full count now to Nick Allen, and should he reach base, Ty Arnold would come to the plate. Which he will, because Nick Allen walks.
Now batting the third baseman, number 9, Ty Arnold.
So Kevin, what do you see as the biggest challenges for the CCBC right now?
I would say the probably the biggest challenge is creating a stable, competitive environment from top to bottom in the league, so that there's no, there's 6 quality organizations that are running good programs and stuff. Mm-hmm. With a good board of directors. Some of the teams struggle with getting a good volunteer group of board of directors around, and that doesn't. I think TRU is pretty good. PBA has a good core there. Some of the other programs, not so much.
Oh, really?
And if we could really, people in those communities. I mean, these are great opportunities for their communities to have a quality baseball program in a good league, and maybe they just don't know how to reach out and talk to the information officer at the university or the coach of the baseball program and offer to help. So I think that if I should say one thing is challenging, it's to develop that and get our programs all running, on all cylinders from top to bottom in the league.
Is that something that's achievable in the short term?
I think it's up to each community to work hard at it. Whether it's a year or 2, I think it's definitely achievable in that time frame. We just had to support them and have good policies for the league, and all those programs have come along. And it's not the baseball programs. Sure, some of the programs win more than others, but that can shift in a blink of an eye too.
As we're seeing this weekend,
weekend so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get 2 or 3 hits in a row here and score a run,
right.
Maybe at least. But it's good to have competitive games. It makes the Kamloops fans will come out and they enjoy this type of baseball. So.
Exactly. Yeah. I know there's been some talk of the spring league or the fall league becoming part of the league, the spring league. Is that something that is could be a reality, or as we see a pop up here for 3 away to end the inning? Is that something that is there much credence to that might take place?
It's always been discussed. There is some challenges with some of the programs, Prairie Baseball included, that would create some interesting changes that would be required to make that work.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing's undoable.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And I guess you guys have a league meeting tomorrow morning, do you not?
Right early tomorrow morning, yeah.
6:30 in the morning, I understand.
Going to consider if the University of Alberta should join the CCBC is one of the things on the agenda. So we'll have a look at that and see if we can go to 7 teams next year or whether we'll stay at 6.
Nice. I was going to bring that up, but I wasn't sure if you really wanted to talk about it. But since you you mentioned it, Kevin.
Well, it's no secret.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. Of course it isn't. What are your thoughts? I know you obviously it's a league consensus, but would it work? And I guess probably the main issues would be geographics, because it's probably obviously going to be the most northern franchise, but also I guess in terms of traveling for for the teams like yourself for Lethbridge and the 4 VIBI guys. I think they'd probably have to fly there. It's almost like 20 hours, isn't it, on the bus?
I think somebody said it was 14 or something.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. But there's got to be some ways that you can do some unique scheduling to overcome that. My biggest concern is the weather. Mm-hmm. Edmonton is more north, and that does present some challenges. But I think there's some ways to hedge your bets on that kind of stuff. If they're going to come in, they're going to have to be aware that they live in Edmonton. And
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes that doesn't work that well in March and April.
Well said. Although the way the winters have been, I know, and when Lethbridge was hosting, I know it was the fall, but the U Sport Rugby Nationals, you guys had a blizzard. We had a long winter here. Calgary had a long winter. Well, no matter where we are, it just seems it's a long winter.
This league is completely at the mercy of weather. I mean, if we're not dealing with snow in Calgary or Lethbridge, you're dealing with rainstorms in Fraser Valley. So, I mean, it's crazy.
Liam Balance leading off the top of the 8th inning with a double, a solid hit to left field for VIU. And he's followed up now by Devin Heck. Heck flied out. He singled in the 4th, and then he struck out his last time at bat in the 5th inning. Nothing like the sound of the wood bat.
That was a solid hit there.
Gillespie continuing to throw for the Wolfpack, for PBA in the bullpen right now. We have some action for PBA. Number 20, Kai Poffenroth. Heck beats the throw to first. So runners at first and second for VIU. Phil Whalen stepping in. Whalen struck out his last time at bat back in the 6th. Before that, he flied out his previous 2 appearances. Tries to lay down the bunt, and Semenuk trapped the ball, but winces as he took the ball, I think, between the protector and his kneecap, I think. Gillespie checks the signs. 1-1. Kevin, the WMBL sure provides a great. I haven't seen a game, but it provides a good place for like our university players here at the CCBC to play during the summer. I know players that have from the Wolfpack that have participated in it really enjoy it, and that seems to be a league on the grow too. Like Fort McMurray, where 3 of our players, TRU players, are going this year. That seems to be a franchise that seems to be taking off. The league seems to be pretty solid.
Yeah, we have 12 franchises in the Western Major Baseball League, and 6 based in Alberta and 6 in Saskatchewan. It creates a nice balance. Play a 48-game schedule and 3 rounds of playoffs. So it's great entertainment for the fans in those 12 communities.
What are the attendance like? For instance, in Lethbridge, what do the Bulls draw in comparison to in comparison to PBA maybe?
Well, there is PBA is not really targeted at the entertainment, family entertainment end of things. So,
right.
We're lucky to get games in sometimes in the spring when PBA is playing. So the Bulls rely on the warm weather to attract people out. They average about 1,100 per game.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Very impressive, I think. The batter is Dylan Kirby, the first baseman. Number 34. Kirby flew out to the left fielder in his last time at bat in the 6th. 3-0 our score. VIU over PBA. And the count now is 0-2. One away. The catcher, Dylan Piscio, will follow Kirby up. Second strikeout in a row. And it's funny, Kevin, you think a pitcher who's been pitching for 7 innings now, that he'd be getting tired. Young Gillespie here seems to be gaining momentum.
Yeah, the Bulls have seen him up against us. He plays in the Edmonton Prospects organization in the summer. He's a good arm and very can really lengthen it out.
I would imagine he's probably going to go back and play for the Prospects as well. We had from the University of Calgary as our color commentator earlier today, Jordan, and I forget what his last name was, but he's going there as well. Jordan Smith, that's who was our color commentator. Yeah, nice young man, and yeah, he's heading to Edmonton as well this summer.
Yeah, there's quite a few players in the CCBC that ends up in various communities around the WNBL. I recognize the catcher there that from VIU. The last name must be some relation to the governor of the Moose Jaw Miller Express franchise.
Ah, nice. Count is 1-2 to Piscio. Little looper to the shortstop. Nice throw to end the inning. So for VIU in the top half of the 8th inning, they had 1 hit, 1 error, and so the score remains after 7.5, 3-0 for VIU. Bottom half of the 8th inning, 3-0. The Vancouver Island University leading Prairie Baseball Academy, and we've got a pinch hitter coming on in to replace Josh Fisher. It's Chris Ewing, I should say. Ewenick, who was a designated hitter yesterday afternoon. Batting left. Ewenick from Spruce Grove, Alberta. Likely will come in and he is an infielder listed on the roster. Likely come in and play second base for Fisher. Ethan McGregor will be coming on. Actually, he's will bat after this. The count is 0-2 to Ewenick. Playing 9 innings here, of course. PBA, the home team. The home team, in case you're wondering, it's all based on the regular season finish. And, of course, a PBA finished up on top in the league, so they're the home team no matter who they play this weekend. And they will take on Fraser Valley, by the way, in our next webcast. Solid hit by Ewenick. Count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Kevin, this is a good substitution, isn't he? He's a solid player coming in here, defensively as well.
I think he was an all-star in the CCBC, if I remember right. I think he was,
Yes, he was. He was the second team DH. Yeah. You're right.
And
nice hit there, and the right fielder had to move to his left, or right, I should say, to get that first out. Ethan McGregor stepping in. McGregor, the shortstop, double last time at bat.
Anything that's been hit hard, a couple of hard hits right down the third base line, and the guys made nice plays on it. That one was, tattooed and right to the right fielder. So sometimes the baseball gods are not just looking very favorably on your on where the ball's traveling for you.
Yeah, definitely. And they're not getting help from the elements either, because there's no wind right now. Or there's a little bit of a wind, but I think it's blowing out, and hit by the pitch there is McGregor. I think you got it in the arm there. A hush falls over Norbrock Stadium. They're looking to see if he needs some medical attention, but he's going to scoot over to first base. Nice round of applause, courtesy of the fans here at Norbrock Stadium.
Back to the top of the order for the right fielder.
Goes to the top of the order, Eric Davies. Kevin, no matter, we look at the PBA lineup, no matter who comes up to bat, they've all got a potential to hit and hit the ball well.
Yeah, I mean, they've been, as I said earlier, they did have the highest average in the conference this regular season, so there's definitely the potential there, and you just never know in baseball, stringing 2 or 3 hits together, and this game is a lot closer suddenly real quick.
And with Only a couple of innings left. PBA needs to get something going right away almost. 1-1 the count to Eric Davies. Right back to the pitcher. Out at second. Double play to end the inning. The second double play of the contest for VIU. And PBA goes down. None left. 3-0 after 8 complete. Going to the top half of the 9th inning of play, the VIU Mariners holding a 3-0 lead over the PBA Dogs here at Norbrock Stadium. Scott Gillespie continues to pitch going into his 9th inning, and Kevin, you mentioned he's a strong arm, and I guess he's still got the confidence of the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, he's given up only 5 hits and through 8 innings. Thrown really well, I thought. Both pitchers. I mean, obviously the VIU pitcher's been had PBA off balance most of the game and has done a good job as well. But
leading off for the VIU Mariners in the top of the 9th, the center fielder.
Leading off for the Mariners is the center fielder, Connor Bronston. 0 for 3. Last time at bat, he lined to the third baseman. And gets a ball to open things up. Again, right after this, PBA will take on Fraser Valley. Fraser Valley playing over at the other field. Pop up, and the shortstop catches it for 1 away. Brings it up at the top of the order. Tanner Hess, the second baseman.
Second baseman, number 19, Tanner Hess.
Just updating the score from the other diamond. They're in the top of the 8th inning over at the Canada Games field. It's now a 2-run ball game. The Calgary Dinos 7 and the UFV Cascades 5. This is Hess, 1 for 4 with a run scored. That happened in the 5th inning when he hit a double and, as mentioned, later scored. Yeah. Fly it out. Did Hess do to the left fielder for 2 away. This is a designated hitter, Lucas Galloway.
Hitter number 3, Lucas Galloway.
Galloway walked in the first, popped up to the first baseman in the third, did the same thing in the 5th inning, and walked in the 7th. So here he is in the 9th. We will do the full 9 because PBA is trailing, yet they are the home team, of course. Galloway pops it up, and that does it. 3 up, 3 down for VIU, the Mariners. So they hold on to a 3-0 lead going to the bottom half of the 9th inning. And Kevin, what are your thoughts going into the bottom of the 9th? You know, kudos to PBA. They're coming off the field. They don't have their heads down. They're hoping to come up with a rally here.
Yeah, I think you just still approach it one bat at a time. Try to get something on base and then move them around. I mean, the approach doesn't change. You're down by 3. You know, you got to put up a 3 spot, but your approach at the plate is still probably fairly similar to it is earlier in the game. They're just going to try to get up there and have quality at bats.
And dangerous hitters coming up: Dalton Wells, David LeBlanc, and Jared Semenek. All 3 guys can hit the ball with authority.
Yeah. Hopefully they kind of just got to get a little loose at the plate and find a way to get the ball in play, and hopefully for them that some good things are going to happen. You know, get a couple runners on base, and then anything can happen. It's baseball.
Yes, as Kevin says, yeah, anything can happen for sure. The starting pitcher for VIU continues to pitch here, Tyler Ulrich, and he's had a pretty nice afternoon for himself. 3 hits. And as I look at the scorecard, he's had only a couple of strikeouts, but been pretty solid. Getting some ground balls and his defense to help him out for sure. So again, it'll be Dalton Wells, the designated hitter, followed by David LeBlanc, the center fielder, and then catcher Jared Semenek for PBA here in the bottom of the 9th inning. With that game continuing over at the Canada Games field, I'm sure it's now approaching, 4 o'clock. I'm sure it'll probably be about 4:40 or so before we get the next game going under here. Wells steps in.
These 9-inning baseball games in a tournament have a way of affecting the start times of the schedule as the day progresses.
They do. So what you're saying is the 7 o'clock game might get underway about 8:30 or 9.
Well, there's lots of time for people to get to the park and have a couple of beverages before the game and then enjoy a great night game of baseball.
Definitely. Now that's a marketer. Wells stepping in here. 2 balls, no strikes. And now the catcher comes out, Piscio, to talk to him as we go to 3-0.
The VIU pen is pretty silent.
Yes, although I see somebody throwing there, and
they're okay. Starting to get a little loose there.
Yeah.
The last thing that they want to do in the bottom of the 9th is to put the leadoff guy on base, and he's down 3-0 now.
Exactly.
The catcher just tries to settle him down a little bit. Comes back with a strike.
It kind of worked for once anyways, for the first pitch, at least for the short term. It's a right-hander working in the bullpen.
Well, there you go.
But yep. Brings up David LeBlanc, number 22.
His approach has to be the same. Looking for something in his wheelhouse to hit hard. But if it's not there, this pitcher is throwing a lot of pitches now.
Yep. Might be tired, but you're able to take advantage of them. inside for a strike. It was really close inside. Almost brushed him off the plate, I think.
Yeah, I was going to call it inside, too. Got a benefit of the doubt there from the home plate umpire to get ahead.
Count goes to 1-1. Ulrich stares in at his catcher, prepares to deliver. And strike two. A little bit of an off-speed pitch, it looked like.
Yeah. Curveball at the corner there, inside corner. Got the call.
Runner at first, 1-2 the count. Two and two. Much to the ire of some of the obviously VIU fans.
I think their
here in
plates
attendance.
where they come from seem to be a bit bigger than the one here.
Yeah, it's that ocean air, you know. 2 balls, 2 strikes to David LeBlanc. VIU 3, PBA no score. Nice hit by LeBlanc. Looks like it's into the gap. Nice catch by the center fielder for the first out. He had to go a ways for the first out, and that forces Wells to scamper back. Connor Bronson, the center fielder, making the catch. So Wells scampers back to first base, brings up the catcher for the Dogs, Jared Semenuk. The left-hander. Ulrich, ball one. Again, PBA against Fraser Valley coming up as our next webcast game, and that'll be followed by Okanagan College against the TRU WolfPack at 7 o'clock. One ball, one strike. Down the middle and foul. Popped up. The third baseman will take it for 2 away. As we have a pinch hitter, Tyson Abbott, coming in to pinch hit for first baseman Kevin Floyd. Tyson Abbott from Victoria, listed as a catcher, coming in here as the pinch hitter. Right-handed hitter, and jumps on the first pitch. And that is the ball game. The VIU Mariners defeat the PBA Dogs 3-0. So Kevin, your thoughts on the contest?
Well, PBA just couldn't get anything going throughout the whole game. And this is 3 games in a row now that they haven't been able to score a run, which is unbelievable, probably from their standpoint and anybody that's watched them all year. They were an offensive machine most of the year, and it seems like they have got into the slump at the worst possible time, and just cannot get a couple of clutch hits together to get that offensive machine rolling. But on the other hand, kudos to the pitcher there from VIU. I mean, he did a great job of keeping them off balance. The 3-hitter you gotta give your thumbs up to the VIU team for a game well played.
Our thanks to the president of the Canadian Collegiate Baseball Conference, Kevin Kavomi, who joins us in the second half, and of course to our other guest commentator, Austin Gurr from VIU. Again, the final score, VIU now unbeaten as they defeat PBA, who are now winless in 3 starts. The final score, 3-0. We'll be back with our next webcast game, which will have PBA against Fraser Valley. Probably, I'm thinking 4:30, 4:45.